Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So I'm going to do a few more exercises from this book because I've been looking at them, the different exercises, and I think that some of these are really good for us to have in our toolbox of things to do in our art journals especially, but any kind of painting. So this is one of my absolute favorites actually, and this is where you combine drawing and painting. So before I dive into this video of the draw on top, I'm gonna let me just put this off to the side here, and I do need to clean my studio desk, you guys. It's that time again. But I also wanted to talk about this particular book, and I think I made a video like 6 months ago or so, and I talked about some of my favorite books for art journaling especially. But any kind of time you're trying to find your visual voice, strengthen your visual language, etc., this is a great book, and I've had this forever. I've had this book. You could probably buy it like on a used bookstore, like a Libris or Thrift Books. That's usually where I get a lot of my books from, and because this is so old, there's a good chance that you're going to be able to get it for a very reasonable price. Anyways, excuse me. So I'm not going to go into everything, but I just wanted to tell you how this book is kind of structured. So besides the exercises and the prompts and all of those things, one of the things I really love about this particular book is she has these little kind of blurbs here, like what speaks to you. So, like look at these paintings, and this is really helpful when you are in the beginning stages of really kind of trying to get into the nuts and bolts of what your visual language is. So say I'm just going to use this as an example. So out of all of these paintings, like which are the paintings that appeal to you the most? Now for me personally, right away I'm drawn to this one. It's just because of the values. It's got like really light values, it's got really dark values. I just love it. It's got drama, it invokes my curiosity. It's got like animals in there, so I'm like, oh, let me see what's going on. I love the composition, so I really love that one. And I also love this one because I'm drawn to faces, especially female faces, and I love this one for some reason. I don't know if it's the red. I don't know what it is, but I really love. So 1, 2, 3. Now, for somebody else, they might really like this or this or this, and there's no right or wrong, but this helps you just kind of delve into well, what are you attracted, and what is it about, this painting over here or this painting? What is it that's really, pulling on you? And one of the things I really love with her approach is that, like, one of the questions is, what is it about the unmarked painting? So what is it about the paintings you did not pick that is less appealing to you? And a lot of times we tend to overlook this, but I think it's super important. Like, it's just as important to know what you don't like as what you do like. What you don't like is going to inform you about what you do like. So for instance, one of the things I don't really like this. I love flowers, but I just feel like all of the values are too middle value for this. Like I don't like the composition particularly, and I don't like the values. There's no like really dark values, really light values are all kind of like, it's like, ugh, it's falling flat. Well, if I can really dive into why I don't like it, then it's going to point me. So, oh, I don't like that because there's too many middle values. So what does that tell me? That tells me that I like values that are strongly contrasted. I like, really light values juxtaposed with really dark values. So what you don't like is also going to point you to the things that you do like. It's going to give you an added layer. So that's one of the things I really like. And another thing, oh, and I did write in this book because another thing that I really love about this book is that this is kind of like the studio log format in the sense that, like, answers to question 1. So there's all of these, like, different paintings that you can go in, and then you can write your own thoughts on it. And, there's like all these exercises. So this one's exploring value, change of emphasis. What do you emphasize? Exploring color. So this is a really good book I would say, and it is called Finding Your Visual Voice. So this is a really, really good book for strengthening your visual language. And you can use it. I've had this for so long. I did write in this book like over here, but generally what I do is I have another journal, like just a lined notebook, and I will like write down my answers in there, and then I can come back a year later and I can redo those questions and I can re-answer those questions, because chances are I might have changed. And when I don't change, when something remains the same over months and years, then you're like, wow, that really is a strong core of my visual language. So all of these things just inform you about your own visual language and your visual voice. So if you guys want more information about this book, or if you want me to do a few exercises from this book, then please let me know. I will be very happy to do that. It's a great book. But anyways, let's go on to this here. And over here, I'm going to read her blurb. This is Elena Hennessy, and this book is called The Painting Workbook, How to Get Started and Stay Inspired by Elena Hennessy. And before I forget, you guys, somebody left a comment for me that I just wanted to share with you guys, is that they said that this artist, Elena Hennessy, on her Instagram account, she has flash sales every once in a while. So the person who left the comment said, a class could be like $300, and then Elena will have a flash sale and the class will go for like $30. So I don't have time to do the class right now, but I absolutely am gonna bookmark it and say, hey, when I can take it, I absolutely want to take another class by her. I have taken classes before, and I love her style. I love the way she approaches her art and teaching and whatever. So if you guys are interested, go to her Instagram account and just kind of keep track of when her sales might come up. Anyways. So this says draw on top. A simple and precise way to add final details to a painting is by using water-based paint pens as a final layer. So that's how I first got to know about Posca markers, because I took a class by Elena Hennessy. And I love these markers, by the way. So once your painting is fully dry, take a paint or two and add outlines to shapes or other parts of your work you want to refine. I have found that this act of mark making with the fine tip of a pen really brings elements of a piece together. It's also a great way to incorporate the arts of drawing and painting together in one piece. And I love this, and I use this all the time, you guys. I do it so often, I don't even think about it, honestly, because especially with art journaling, like, yeah, I'm painting and then I'm adding words with, my Posca marker or another water-based pen, like my Pitt pen, or I've got, tons of stuff. Even just a Sharpie. It's waterproof. So, but it's a great way to add words, to add marks, to add lines, to add, and combine like the aspects of drawing with painting in one piece. And art journaling, I find, is like the perfect way to do this. And, writing itself is lines. Like, it doesn't have to make sense. Like, you can even do like just, gobbledygook writing, it's lines. It's in your it's your marks, so to speak. But like, look at this, like, is that not beautiful? Like, I just love it. Like, it just adds so much, you guys. Like, look at that. Look at that. She's adding text and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I've already done these. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to like go over it. And I did that over here, actually. That's my, that's a water-based pen that I did. So all I'm doing is, see, I'm just kind of using my pen, and this is my Posca marker. And so I'm combining a few different things, because, if I make like so, now we're going with pattern, and so you can combine a lot of these prompts together. But I absolutely love this. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually go like so. And just look how much it adds. And then I'm going to get a black Posca. Or actually, I'm just going to use my Sharpie, actually. And see how it's just like, it just adds so much, you guys. So this is a simple prompt, but, it's a good technique. to have in your toolbox. And I know when I first started art journaling, like something that might seem so obvious, like, you know, once you've been doing it for a while, is like a whole new world when you first start. Like when I first started art journaling and even you know, painting, because I took a lot of classes that were very traditional. Like I started off with traditional watercolor, which was a pain, you guys. It was so, because you have to plan everything out. You've got to retain your whites. There's no spontaneity. Like I'm not saying there's no spontaneity, but you have to plan everything out, because for traditional watercolor, you don't want to go in with what they call a Chinese white. So Chinese white is like a kind of a gouache, and you can add it right at the end for parts that you've covered up but you didn't mean to cover up, or you know, whatever. But in traditional watercolor, you're supposed to retain all your whites. So the way you work with mixed media, you have to like work backwards, in the sense that with mixed media, you start off with white and then you just put as much, you know, you can have 100 million layers, and you just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going until, you know, whatever. But with traditional watercolor, you have to plan everything out because you want to retain your whites. You know, so it's a very it's just a different way of working. But anyways, when I first started, I would not think to combine drawing and painting in the same you know, in the same piece, because when you take traditional painting classes, they tend to follow traditional concepts, at least in the beginning. Maybe when after you've taken them for a while and you go into the more advanced, you know, maybe things have changed now. This was like over 20 years ago. So, but yeah. So, anyways, I'm sorry, you guys, I got off topic there for a minute. But what my point is that, you know, combining drawing and painting, when I first started, I wouldn't have thought to do it, but now I do it without even thinking. Like I'll show you right here. Like say in this piece over here. Well, this is painting, and then over here, that is, you know, that's drawing, that's pattern. That's pattern, that's collage, that's cardboard. So I've actually kind of combined a whole bunch of her, you know, what she's saying. I've combined it into one piece. And that's a great thing about this book, is it takes all these things apart. So, oh, this is cardboard, and this is pattern, and this is the drawing on top. So I'm combining drawing with painting, and you know, there's pattern involved, and you know, blah 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 blah. So, you know, it's really good to know these different techniques, and then yeah, sure, combine them all, you know, combine them as you see fit. And it's just good to kind of know that you have these different ways of working. And I love this, you guys, I really do. And like, I even love adding words. So she has, let's see, I'm gonna add a word. Oh, I'm just gonna add a word. Okay, I just put breathe, but it just has that Zen kind of quality to it. And you know, you can like even over here, like I can, this was the drawing like in the pencil in the wet paint. So I can just come in here and I can kind of keep some of that, you know, original marks, and then I can kind of go like so. So this is a really good way to kind of add different art forms into one piece. And, you know, then I could kind of write, I could kind of write a word in there too. Like, you know, there's no rules, you guys. And these are Posca markers, well worth it. They're a Japanese brand. I bought a set of them, but if you just wanted to like go to the art store and maybe try it, I love them. They are a bit on the pricey side, but they are so amazing. So anyways, you guys, if you watch all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.